Nehemiah 12. Here is the list of the priests and Levites who returned with Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, and Jeshua the high priest: Sariah, Jeremiah, Ezra, Amariah, Maluk, Hattush, Shechaniah, Harin, Meremoth, Iddo, Ginnathon, Abijah, Minimim, Moadib, Bilgah, Shemaiah, Jorib, Jediah, Saluk, Amok, Hilkiah, and Jediah. These were the leaders of the priests and their associates in the days of Jeshua. The Levites who returned with them were Jeshua, Benu, Kadmiel, Sherebiah, Judah, and Mattaniah, who with his associates was in charge of the songs of thanksgiving. Their associates, Bakbukia and Uni, stood opposite them during the service. Jeshua, the high priest, was the father of Joachim. Joachim was the father of Elishib. Elishib was the father of Joada. Joada was the father of Joanna. Joanna was the father of Jadua. Now, when Joachim was high priest, the family leaders of the priests were as follows: Meriah was leader of the family of Sariah. Hananiah was the leader of the family of Jeremiah. Meshullam was the leader of the family of Ezra. Jehonan was the leader of the family of Amariah. Jonathan was the leader of the family of Maluk. Joseph was the leader of the family of Shechaniah. Adonai was the leader of the family of Hiram. Helkai was leader of the family of Meremoth. Zechariah was leader of the family of Iddo. Meshullam was leader of the family of Ginnathon. Zikri was leader of the family of Abijah. There was also a leader of the family of Min. Piltai was leader of the family of Moadiah. Shemua was leader of the family of Bilgah. Jehonathan was leader of the family of Shemaiah. Mattaniah was leader of the family of Jorib. Uzzi was leader of the family of Jedediah. Kalai was leader of the family of Salu. Eber was leader of the family of Amok. Hashbiah was leader of the family of Hilkiah. Nathaniel was leader of the family of Jedediah. A record of the Levite families was kept during the years when Elishib, Joiada, Joanna, and Jaddua served as high priest. Another record of the priests was kept during the reign of Darius the Persian. A record of the heads of the Levite families was kept in the book of history down the days of Joanna, the grandson of Elishib. These were the family leaders of the Levites: Hashbiah, Sherebiah, Jeshua, Banu, Kadmiel, and other associates who stood opposite them during the ceremonies of praise and thanksgiving, one section responding to the other, as commanded by David, the man of God. This included Mattaniah, Bakuiah, and Obadiah. Meshullam, Talmon, and Akub were the gatekeepers in charge of the storerooms at the gates. These all served in the days of Joachim, son of Jeshua, son of Jehozadak, and in the days of Nehemiah, the governor, of Ezra, the priest and scribe. For the dedication of the new wall of Jerusalem, the Levites throughout the land were asked to come to Jerusalem to assist in the ceremonies. They were to take part in the joyous occasion with their songs of thanksgiving and with the music of cymbals, harps, and lyres. The singers were brought together from the region around Jerusalem and from the villages of the Netophah Heights. They also came from Beth Gilgal and the rural area near Geba and Azmaveth, for the singers had built their own settlements around Jerusalem. The priests and Levites first purified themselves, then they purified the people, the gates, and the wall. I led the leaders of Judah to the top of the wall and organized two large choirs to give thanks. One of the choirs proceeded southward along the top of the wall to the dung gate. Hoshea and half the leaders of Judah followed them, along with Azariah, Ezra, Meshullam, Judah, Benjamin, Shemaiah, and Jeremiah. Then came some priests who played trumpets, including Zechariah, son of Jonathan, son of Shemaiah, son of Mattaniah, son of Micah, son of Zakur, a descendant of Ashel. And Zechariah's colleagues were Shemaiah, Azriel, Meliah, Giliah, Mai, Nathaniel, Judah, and Hanani. They used the musical instruments prescribed by David, the man of God. Ezra the scribe led this procession. At the fountain gate, they went straight up the steps to the ascent of the city wall towards the city of David. They passed the house of David and then proceeded to the water gate on the east. The second choir, giving thanks, went northward, around the other way to meet them. I followed them together with the other half of the people along the top of the wall, past the tower of the ovens to the broad wall, then past the Ephraim gate to the old city gate, past the fish gate and the tower of Hananel, and on to the tower of the 100. Then we continued on to the sheep gate and stopped at the guard gate. The two choirs that were giving thanks then proceeded to the temple of God, where they took their places. So did I, together with the group of leaders who were with me. We went together with the trumpet playing priest Eliakim, Messiah, Miniamin, Micaiah, Elionah, Zechariah, and Hananiah, and the singers Maaseiah, Shemaiah, Eleazar, Uzzi, Jonah, Malchijah, Elam, and Ezer. They played and sang loudly under the direction of Jezariah, the choir director. Many sacrifices were offered on that joyous day, for God had given the people cause for great joy. The women and children also participated in the celebration, and the joy of the people of Jerusalem could be heard far away. On that day, men were appointed to be in charge of the storerooms for the offerings, the first part of the harvest, and the tithes. They were responsible to collect from the fields outside the towns the portions required by the law for the priests and Levites. For all the people of Judah took joy in the priests and Levites and their work. They performed the service of their God and the service of purification, as commanded by David and his son Solomon, and so did the singers and the gatekeepers. The custom of having choir directors to lead the choir and hymns of praise and thanksgiving to God began long ago in the days of David and Asaph. So now, in the days of Zerubbabel and Nehemiah, all Israel brought a daily supply of food for the singers, the gatekeepers, and the Levites. The Levites, in turn, gave a portion of what they received to the priests, the descendants of Aaron. Thank you so much, y'all. We are going to be finishing up Nehemiah tomorrow, our final chapter, 13. See you then. Bye bye.